The following is a clip from the highly acclaimed educational radio program, The White Riot Show.
Judolarium, go ahead. Ask me.
Wait, I'm still jiggling your ball.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. But go ahead. Ask me if I was the head of the Ku Klux Klan, what law could I pass that would be the most anti-black law in America? Go ahead, ask
John,
me.
if you were the head of the Ku Klux Klan, a
Yes.
grand cyclops,
Yes.
grand dragon, or grand high exalted
grand
mystic
wizard.
ruler of the
Yeah.
Raccoon Lodge of the
Yes.
Honeymooners, if you were, what possible legislation would you or law could you pass?
Thank you, Judo Larry.
That would affect African Americans adversely.
Yes, I would tell you right now, the most anti-black law on the books right now is the Minimum Wage Act.
Really?
Yes. And if you want to punish black people, you know what you do? Raise the minimum wage. Here, I'm the world's biggest racist. Let's put me in that position, Judo Lariam. Can you imagine that? Do you have trouble imagining that?
Yeah, actually, I know you very well. I find that very hard to believe.
But if I were, and I was in charge, the most subtle law I could pass would be to double the minimum wage rate. Double it to $20 an hour. You know what would instantly happen? You would double the unemployment rate among African Americans. It would quadruple among black teenagers
who are not named RG3.
Right. Word. Right. And it would not affect whites and Asians as much. Well, how do I know this? Because data has been proving this out since 1950.
Because they're the ones who pay the...
Yeah, and who are the biggest supporters of minimum wage? The unions. Now, you tell
unions, minorities...
Why would unions support minimum wage? Do any of their fucking members in a union come anywhere near the minimum wage? Are any of them affected by the minimum wage? No, because they want to protect the status of their members. The best way to do that is to drive up unemployment.
Yeah, but also they think it guarantees a higher rate of money for the people in the unions that are going to be making this, which is ridiculous.
But no economist.
But it always. Yeah. Look, I always remember the story of the guy who owns a movie theater here in the city. This goes back like 10 years or whatever, and they were talking about back then, raising the minimum wage. He goes, "Look, I hire like 10 summer."
Kids or whatever,
kids for the summer, ushers, popcorn, all the crap. He goes, if you raise the minimum wage, he goes, I'm going to hire 4.
Right.
He goes, I'm going from 10 to 4. That's what I always remembered about that.
Right. But that's the whole point, right? The whole point there is that at the end of the day, if you want to pass an anti-Negro law, and anti-Negro, look at me, I'm like in the 50s, anti-black law.
Big fat Jim Crow.
There you go. I don't know what made me say that. But if I wanted to pass a law like that and still seem like a good guy, that's the key. Yeah. That's the insidious part of all this. You seem like a good guy. Yeah. Hey, I'll double the minimum wage. And yet people will not sit and say the data. If you see the graph of this fucking data from 1950 till now, the correlation and the causation is so tight, there is no other explanation.
Right.
Zero other explanation.
Join us every week at www.whiteriotshow.com to follow the latest exploits of Big Fat John and Judo Larry M. This is Mark, the man with the golden voice, and I'm not wearing any pants.